The Department of Fisheries wants you to know you should not eat dead whales. A woman was caught wearing a sex toy with her boyfriend's ashes inside of it at an airport. And thousands of mink were released in Ohio, and the police are seeking the vandals that freed them. These are the weird stories for Thursday on the Weird AF News podcast, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian, which means this might be funny. I want to emphasize might. Do not eat the dead whales. The Fisheries and Oceans Canada organization is asking the public to please keep a safe distance from the dead whales that have recently washed up on the British Columbia shores. The urgent notice comes after the Department of Fisheries and Oceans was alerted to some severe illnesses in the local dogs. The officers say these dogs in the area have ingested some whale meat from decaying carcasses in the area of Masset Inlet. Here's a quote from the fishery officer, Chase. Apart from the concerns around botulism in the dead whale carcass that make it unfit for consumption, marine mammal meat and blubber also contain high levels of toxins and heavy metals. If you or your animals have ingested the meat from these humpback whales, please inform the fishery officers. People often ask me, why do I have a Boston accent up here in British Columbia? Well, you know, some of us, for some reason, we have Boston accents. Now, the fisheries officer would like to remind everybody in the area that you don't need to just eat the whale meat to get sick. Getting too close to a decaying whale carcass is also a severe health concern. Yeah, you know, especially in a place like this. Lots of school groups, tourists, and people like to go check it out, you know? So we just want people to be aware that looking and taking photos is probably the best option instead of playing with it or even taking pieces or parts of it. What's wrong with you? You would take a part of a dead whale carcass? Are you okay? Now, you might think that that's a strange idea, but this fisheries officer says that it's pretty common for people to take animal bones and hang them in their house or even use them for educational purposes. How about you guys? You got some animal bones hanging in your house? If I went over for coffee and you had a bunch of whale bones in your kitchen, I'd be a little alarmed. It says here, while scavenging from a dead animal is actually not prohibited due to health and other concerns, the officer doesn't recommend anyone handling any animal carcass for health reasons. Now, it says here a total of 3 of these whales have been confirmed dead by the fisheries organization within 1 month. 2 of them show signs of blunt force trauma. The other one, they believe, was shot by Alec Baldwin. The humpback whale in Masset Inlet was necropsied by the DFO to determine the cause of death, and they say it could take several months for these results. Now, you wonder, why aren't these whales just being removed? Well, oftentimes the DFO's mandate is actually to leave a dead whale where it washes up. The officer goes on to say, well, you know, it's kind of an interesting one here because, you know, whale carcasses are important food sources for marine life and other terrestrial organisms. You know, the municipalities can request that a whale carcass be moved if it's like really smelly or there are pets and other animals getting into it, you know. But for now, we're just going to put signs around the beached whales, and we ask the dog owners to please keep their pet on a leash, you know, and don't let the dogs eat the whales. And I don't think I need to say this, but if you're a human being, you shouldn't eat the whale either. I don't care how much you enjoy sushi. Yay! A woman was caught wearing a sex toy with her boyfriend's ashes inside it at airport security. An Australian woman was caught passing through airport security recently wearing a sex toy. That's pretty out of the ordinary. Even more so, what was inside the sex toy? Her dead boyfriend's ashes. I don't even know you could put the ashes in a dildo. I don't even know if it's a dildo, to be honest. Let's keep reading and find out exactly what this was. Sarah Button is a 23-year-old law student. She was about to board a flight in the United Arab Emirates before putting the butt plug. Okay, so we got an answer there. It was a butt plug filled with ashes. She had the butt plug she was wearing in her boyfriend's, quote, favorite place. Said, what's the favorite place, guys? Oh, I could use my imagination in this one. I'm going to guess the favorite place was where a butt plug usually goes. She thought she could just sneak the butt plug through security. Well, it set off the alarms during the check-in. I guess because the butt plug was metal. She documented this entire experience on her TikTok page because she has no shame. People just share this crap on TikTok. It's pretty embarrassing that you got caught with a butt plug going through security. But you know what? I'm going to tell the world that this has happened. It's almost as though these kids forget they have parents out there that have to answer questions to their friends during the holidays. Hey, I saw your daughter, Sarah, on TikTok. What was that all about? Ashes and a butt plug? Please explain. Sarah explained to the media that while she was trying to pass through security, the authorities took her and her friend aside, and she was forced to call her father to get help from the Australian embassy. This poor guy, he's just trying to work and do his thing. Gets a call about his daughter. Yeah, we caught your daughter with a sex toy inside her. There's ashes in it, and we're not going to let her get on the plane. Well, that's a good day for him. Sarah also stated that the sex toy was a gift from her boyfriend before he died and that she wanted to start traveling to the places she and her boyfriend dreamed of visiting to honor his life. And I think that's a noble idea, to carry out some of the plans that you had with your boyfriend who passed away, which is very unfortunate. I guess he's extremely young as well. But maybe leave the butt plug at home? It's just a crazy suggestion. I don't know. Now, according to Sarah, the airport security thought what she was carrying was a weapon. And when she tried to explain what it was, she used some vulgarity and descriptive words, she says, that the officials did not appreciate. An hour later, a major official came and made her sign a super long foreign document, she said. I guess it's probably related to the ashes. Can you just bring someone's ashes across international borders? I'm not sure about that. Eventually, Sarah says the authorities realized she was telling the truth and let her go. It is unclear if she was allowed to take the butt plug with her on the flight. Oh, geez, I hope she's able to at least keep the butt plug. Maybe if she can't take it on the plane, mail it to herself, Put it right back on the mantle at home for everyone to see. Oh, that's a lovely butt plug. What's it doing up there? Yeah, it's my dead boyfriend's ashes. I wonder what his parents think of you keeping them in a butt plug. We got a lot of questions here. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. Here's an interesting weird fact. Did you guys know that Lamborghini began by making tractors? Just thought I'd give you a weird fact somewhere in the middle of this episode. No really point to it, but just to educate you a little bit more. I don't know. All right. Back to the stuff. Thousands of mink were released in Ohio, and the police are seeking the vandals that freed them. That's right. Thousands of mink were roaming the countryside of northwestern Ohio on Wednesday. So I guess the plural of mink is just mink. We're learning, guys. We're learning about language. Vandals broke into a farm, they're saying. This farm raises mink, which are fur-bearing creatures. The vandals released 40,000 of these mink from their cages, according to the authorities. Once released, of course, these thousands of mink overran the nearby roads. Many of them were hit by passing vehicles, while hunters went after still more of them. They say that workers at the farm, which is located in Hoagland Township, were shooting at the animals as they ran across the property as well. Sounds like mink mayhem, guys. Sheriff Tom Riggenbach said in a press release that the suspects destroyed the fencing and released between 25,000 and 45,000 animals from their cages. He said the incident is being investigated as a case of vandalism and breaking and entering at this time. He warned that mink, quote, are carnivorous animals that stick to a diet of fresh kills. Oh, that's frightening. That means these mink could spread out into your neighborhood and eat your little dog. A lot of people got little dogs. They could also eat your infant. That's very alarming and concerning. Now, mink, you think, are very small and they're not going to do anything, but they actually regularly hunt animals much larger than themselves. It says here, the officers are warning the homeowners and the poultry farmers and others to stay away from these animals and to call licensed trappers to corral them. There are a lot of reports and responses on social media about this incident. Some residents north of Cincinnati say that one highway was still covered in blood from the animals that were hit by cars and trucks, and that's 150 miles away, they're saying. Now, it also says in 2013, a group calling itself the Animal Liberation Front took credit for releasing some mink at a farm in Van Wert County. However, it was not immediately clear whether this group was involved in releasing these mink this week. The Delphos Herald reported that this group took credit for releasing about 1,000 mink from another Ohio farm earlier this month. Funny that you have these groups that are just releasing animals. The Animal Liberation Front. They're very serious about it, too. But when you release them, are you doing us all any good here? I mean, these animals were all strewn across the road after that. They're probably going to eat somebody's baby. So are you really, I mean, are you creating a bigger problem? It sounds like it. I don't know. They're saying as of today, about 10,000 of these mink are still at large. At large, as though they're, they're running from the law or something. Anyways, this is very concerning if you live in that area, so those of you in Ohio, please keep a lookout for the mink. Don't walk your cat right now, maybe. And if you're looking for something tasty to stuff your turkey with this time of year, I recommend about half a dozen mink. Just shove them right in there. I don't know. I never tried mink. I think the animal activists are going to come at me now. Guys, I'm going to be canceled out of the closet for my take on eating mink. So sorry, guys. We had a good run. Happy holidays. Happy Vasectomy Day. It's National Vasectomy Day, everybody. November 17th. Did you get your vasectomy today? I think you get a discount. Guys, just go right over to the clinic. Get it snipped, all right? Do your thing. Do your part to keep our planet less toxified by humans. Well, we just hit 8 billion people, too, in the world. Might as well offset it with some vasectomies, I think. 8 billion seems a little crowded, guys, all right? Come on, do your part. Do your part. Snip it, boys. And with that, I'd like to play a song I found on YouTube called the Vasectomy Song. Just a smidge of it. Unless you get a vasectomy, you ought to get a vasectomy. Just one little male alteration can keep us from another altercation. Get a vasectomy. You ought to get a vasectomy. Oh, ain't that a nice little ditty? It's about 3 minutes long. I'll put a link to that in the show notes and probably throw it into the Patreon. It's by a little folk, I assume, comedy trio called the Limelighters. Limeliters. You can find that song on YouTube. Hilarious. Now, tomorrow is going to be Florida Friday. And so if you guys would like to send me some Florida-related news from this week, my email is funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can drop a story in my Instagram @funnyjones, or tweet me @funnyjones as well. If you would like to support the show, because it is the holiday season, you can join my Patreon, patreon.com/weirdafnews, or go to weirdafnews.com. Click on the Patreon banner, or the Buy Jonesy a Coffee banner as well. Or you can download the Patreon app on your phone and do a search for Weird AF News. We will see you tomorrow, my friends, for Florida Friday. Cannot wait. We'll lead you into the weekend with some real degenerate news to make you feel better about your dang life. How about that?